If you're selling your home, you just don't want views, you want offers. And to get offers, you must avoid the deal breakers that are silent and actually kill the buyer's interest. So here's the 13 things that you should never have in your house when you're selling. Give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Number one is clutter. Now, when I say clutter, I'm not just talking about a couple magazines sitting around a coffee table. I'm talking about the visual overload that hits you the second you walk in, right? So listen, a buyer walking through your house, it's all about that clutter. And it says one thing: the house isn't big enough. And it doesn't matter if it's the square footage that you actually have. Because once a buyer has that feeling and it's in their head, you've outgrown that space, the idea sticks in their head like glue, and they stop picturing their own furniture and what happened in your own life there. So instead, they start focusing on they think it's not enough space or enough storage. So what's the fix? You got to strip it down. Make sure those closets have room to breathe. You want to be half empty. Clear off every surface that you can. Open up that floor space so they can actually see it. And you're not just cleaning here, you're selling the idea that the home has plenty of room and room for their stuff and room for them to grow. Number two, personal decor. Now let's talk about something that you can instantly turn a buyer off. And even they can't explain why. Niche or overly personalized decor. I've seen rooms that are covered with movie posters from floor to ceiling, walls that are painted super dark black, leopard print wallpaper. And listen, I'm not here to judge anyone's style. You live how you want to live, but personally, the walls won't sell your house. So buyers are going to look and try to imagine their lives in that space. And if your decor is too bold or too specific to you or too unusual, it pulls them right out of the picture. And you completely have taken over their imagination. And now they're thinking about you and not the house. The goal is to get them to fall in love. So it's important that you only keep a little bit of simple, neutral decor that you're selling. The neutral decor doesn't mean it has to be boring. It means it has to not stand out too much. And when you're trying to sell, not standing out, it's powerful. This allows the best features to come forward, whether it's the hardwood floors, the natural lighting, or the flow of that room. That is what sells houses. So pack up anything that's very loud, weird, or personal to you, personal pictures. Change those bold colors to softer, more neutral ones. And keep the artwork simple and the furniture uncluttered. You want buyers to focus on one thing, really, the house itself. Number three is the unfixed damages. Now, most homeowners get used to little things over time. And now the problem is that buyers don't see the things the way that you actually see them, right? So even cosmetic stuff, the door that sticks, the stain on the wall, you've lived there long enough that you don't even notice it anymore. But someone walking in for the first time, that stands out like a sore thumb. It's a giant warning sign. So you have to fix these things not after the inspection, before. Now walk through your house like a buyer would. Change your glasses, right? It's the way better for someone who does this, or a friend or a realtor, because it's a third party. Someone who will be honest and take notes on everything that's broken, scratched, loose, or damaged, or knocked. You want to just go down the list, check them off, because buyers will absolutely judge the entire house based on something that's seemingly small and neglected repair. Number four, dirty carpets and floors. Now think about it. Your carpets and floors are the foundation of every room. So when a buyer walks on, they actually have their eyes naturally scanning the floor. And if it's stained or worn out or just plain dirty, that sends a powerful negative message that you don't want to send, even subconsciously. So it also triggers mental cost calculators again. And that's significant expense to buyers. They're going to factor into their offer. And if you're nearing the end of life or have a significant stain or seriously consider replacing it, do that before listing. The same goes for flooring. If it's hardwood and there's scratches and it needs to be polished, or you need to repair that noticeable damage, do it before you list that property for sale. It's money in your pocket. Number five is too many personal photos. Again, clear all that stuff out. Now this seems seemingly small thing, right? But it's surprisingly a big impact on buyers. They visualize that somebody else lives there. You want them to think that they live there. Think about it from their perspective. They walk in, they're immediately surrounded by your personal photos. And what happens? They focus their shift instead of on the house to your story, and that's not what you want. The goal is, when you're selling, is to create a blank canvas. So while you want the home to feel inviting, too much stuff, too many pictures makes it harder for buyers to see themselves actually living there. And this also gives strangers walking through your home a very detailed look into your life, which isn't ideal for your privacy. Now look, this is why professional staging is important. You don't have to have professional staging, but a good stager does know how to neutralize that space enough that it feels welcoming, but it doesn't feel like the vibe of someone else actually lives here. Number 6, pet odors and mess. Look, if you've got pets, you really need to hear this. The one thing is, you live with the smell. You walk into the house, you may not even smell it. You've gone nose blind. But a buyer, they can smell it. It could be the cat litter, the dog dander, wet fur, old carpet, whatever it is, it hints to them that the place is there before and someone's been in that house. Now, once that smell is in their nose, it plants a seed in their head that that house is dirty. And it may be taken care of properly, and you might know that the house is very clean. You might vacuum every day, you might clean every day, but buyers believe what they feeling as they walk through that door. So it's not just about that smell, it's what matters a lot too. Scratched up doors from a dog, chewed corners on walls, fur clinging to every cushion and rug. When buyers see this stuff, they immediately start thinking about the extra costs and the cost of professional cleaning or replacing carpets or even allergies that might linger. And they might get just totally turned off from everything. So it's just like that. They mentally taking money off the potential offer or if any offer at all. So it creates doubt, and doubt kills sales. It's not what you want. So if you have pets and you're planning to sell, you need to do a serious deep clean. And this means maybe even a professional, has to come in and do the carpets. Get them steam clean, wipe down the baseboards, the walls. And if that smell is really strong, consider using an ozone machine to neutralize odors, because this is crucial. The second opinion from somebody who comes into your house, your nose might be blind, as I said, but get a second nose, and it's a trusted one. And then before every showing, make sure that all signs of pets, litter boxes, pet bowls, pet beds, scratching posts, anything that signal that an animal lives there besides you and needs to get out of sight. And if possible, take your pet with you during showings. Make arrangements. It's not forever, it's just until you get that house sold. Number 7, overpowering scents. Now we've talked about pet odors, but I want to go a little bit deeper here because this is something that many sellers completely miss. Sellers want their home to smell nice, which is really nice, right? But the problem is, a lot of times, it can actually be a huge turnoff for buyers. That strong artificial scent can actually trigger suspicion. And this is when they become detectives trying to uncover the issue and think in their mind, what's the hidden issue behind all that perfume? So even natural scents can be problematic if they're too strong. Or if somebody has an allergy, they can walk in and get choked up. So the best is not to use any artificial scents at all, but open the windows, if possible, for every showing and air out the house. And if you must use a scent, make sure it's something that's just a little bit more neutral, like a slight hint of lemon or vanilla. Again, don't use anything artificial. Number 8 is outdated or broken fixtures. Now imagine you walk into the house and the first thing you see is some yellow plastic light switch plates, or rusty and leaky faucets, or a faucet that broke off. Oh my gosh! Doors that don't open properly. You don't want to make an impression to that potential buyer like this. So these are the things that are cheap to fix, and you want to do it as early as possible. Number 9, excess furniture. Now you might have a big family, and over the years, you probably filled every corner with furniture to make it all work for you guys. So you need places to sit, I get it, places to store stuff. But when it comes to selling, they're not going to do you any favors here. So it's a really common issue, especially in a smaller living room or smaller bedrooms, right? You need to figure out how to arrange things over time so that everything fits in and it's not cluttered. But the truth is, buyers don't want to see your squeezed in stuff at all. They don't want to see that same furniture that you do. So they want to feel like there's plenty of room and it's open and I can actually breathe in their space, right? So that is why you need to start editing. So just remove some pieces of furniture that force people to awkwardly sidestep to get through a room. The key is, for bedrooms, especially the primary bedroom, make sure that the space is open and you can walk through comfortably on both sides of the bed. It's a simple detail, and it can make a bedroom feel significantly larger, and sometimes almost as much as a third bigger, right? But if you got overflow furniture, rent a storage unit, get it out of the house, take it out while it's on the market. And yes, it could be an extra cost, but there's nothing compared to the value that you're going to be adding. And after the deal's closed, you're going to move your furniture to your new house anyway when you sell it. So make sure you can walk around all the furniture. Number 10, political and religious items. Now look, signs, flags, symbols that clearly show your political or religious beliefs can unintentionally turn off potential buyers. So to make your home appeal to the widest audience, it's best to remove any of this kind of stuff during the selling process. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, you want to sell this house. Number 11, unmade beds and messy rooms. Now, it might seem pretty obvious, but an unmade bed or a generally messy room can really surprisingly turn off a lot of people. And it just takes a few extra minutes to make those beds, tidy up the surfaces, and put things away. But the impact on a buyer that they first see this, first impression, it's huge. I'm here in the garage. Number 12 is trash and junk piles. Now, a buyer's first impression often begins the minute they see your house from the street. If you open the garage door, that overflowing trash can or piles of random items in the yard do not give a positive impression. And you don't want that as a home seller. So take the time to ensure your outdoor areas are as nice and clean as they can be. And this includes properly storing trash, repairing any broken fixtures, and removing the unnecessary clutter outside the house too. And yes, that absolutely includes making sure the lawn is mowed, the edging is done, and the hedges are all trimmed. Number 13 is bold paint colors. Now, this is a huge red flag, guys. Beyond personal taste, bold painting colors can also negatively impact how a buyer perceives the size of your rooms. So dark or very bright colors tend to absorb that light. So it's gonna make that space feel smaller and potentially a bit more claustrophobic. That's not what you want. That's why we always suggest neutral or lighter colors as they reflect light, which actually makes the rooms feel brighter and more spacious. Look, it's not about just changing your house. It's about removing the reasons that the buyer might say no. And when you remove these items, these turnoffs, you're opening up a clear path for them to say only one thing. Yes, that's what you want. So every item that you leave out, every smell, every sign of your life will overpower the buyer's vision that they're trying to build for themselves. And ultimately, you're just selling walls, a roof, and you're selling potential for a new life for somebody else, right? If you watched this so far and you found any of this information helpful, I sure hope you found this helpful. Go ahead and make sure you hit that like button and let me know in your thoughts and comments what you're doing. Are you moving? Are you looking at new houses? Are you looking to sell your house? I'm Jerry with Jerry Pinkas Real Estate Experts. My real estate team has helped you to find your hidden gem and to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a property in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or anywhere else in the United States, I can hook you up with that local real estate expert. So pick up the phone, give us a call, 843-839-9870. Until next time, stay happy, stay educated. I'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.